You need to get somebody in there that's got good work ethics, they're accountable, they're paid a decent wage so they don't have to embezzle any money, and they need to be transparent, and they need to be, take pride in their work. And it's the same with the administration, the council, the employees, even as community members, you should take pride in your community. So I guess my question to narrow down is, how are you going to keep all the tribal employees, the council, and everybody under thumb if you are a good leader?
We just need a white guy for county commissioner. Hey. No, really, well, he's got that joke, all our volunteers are white guys, they always say the white guys, but it's true that first to respond. I guess that goes back to accountability. You mentioned land committee, I'm the chairman of land committee. And unfortunately, our committee structure, we do need 3 for a quorum. But with this last year, and with, like I mentioned in my opening statement, or about accountability, when I drew that line about who's going to be accountable and who's not, it carried on to the committees. And getting quorums, not just for those committees, but budget finance, was also hard. Because people were hurt by it, their egos were struck. You held them accountable, they didn't want to be your friend no more. They didn't want to make a quorum. So what happens is people suffer, and the business suffers, So I definitely look at running our tribe as a business. Running our tribe as a business by holding our directors accountable, ensuring they can do budgets and do their reports on time, doing actual compliance, but also giving them incentives if they're good workers, giving them actual benefits, health and retirement, so we don't have that day about the case that won us mineral rights. Why aren't we? It's just another holiday. It's like the white man who celebrates Columbus Day and has a sale. We're becoming too mainstream, and we're utilizing our holiday as a reason for benefits, just to get our employees benefits. But also, the idea that we provide services, and we have to have good customer service. We have to treat our clients who are our membership good, with respect, and serve them properly.
I'm going to encourage everybody who wants to vote for Ed, because I want to keep him higher there. Because I'm personnel manager. That is an issue, and I'm simplistic about it, and I know a lot of people don't believe that way, especially with the attorneys that come in and they give all their legal advice and this and that. They have good attorneys. But to me, if you're not there, you're not doing your job, you don't pay them for it. Why would you pay somebody for not showing up and not doing their job? That don't make sense. And if they're on a committee and they're not doing it, you take them off the committee and put somebody else who will do the job. That's where you got to separate the politics from the administration part of it. As an administrator, you have to make those administrative decisions. We have time clocks now, and we never had them before, 4 years ago. They didn't improve anything. There was no increase in productivity. You have to work with we've got good employees, but it starts at the top. It starts with the leadership. Is the leadership there? Is the leadership accountable? Now, one of the things we have to separate out is the tribal council is not the administration, they're not the supervisors of the people, and they can't be the role models for the employees because they have a different set of standards and they have no job description. Tribal employees do, and it's the job of the president to hold them accountable.
I want to mention that Beginning of this year, we passed a resolution requiring that tribal council members account for their time. They even gave us little special notebooks with their names on it. And that we account for our time where our meetings we're doing, the travel we're going on. And even afterward, after the hours, because it is a 24/7 job. Guess what? That resolution was passed, it's not enforced. There's 5 of us that do it. Remember they call us the Fast Five or Furious Five or whatever? It takes 6 to have a majority. So if we want to take somebody off the committee, you're going to have a majority to take them off the committee. You know, and that's the problem. Majority rules, even if it's by 1 vote. And the legislation that has been passed probably the last 6 to 8 months hasn't been good. It's been by 1 vote. And so there is accountability. There is a law, a resolution we passed that requires us to account for our time. Like I said, those of us that take our job seriously are doing it. Those who aren't, they didn't get reelected. That's probably a big reason for that too. Okay? And I think there's got to be an effort there to do a desk audit. I call it a desk audit. To look at the work you're actually doing. I mean, you might come in there from 8 to 5 and do nothing, but get a paycheck. You might even point a tribal member to the right direction for some services. You can't even do that. But you're there 8 to 5. You know, we should look at the amount of work that actually gets done also by our council members. That's holding them accountable.
You know, I'm really blessed. The staff I work with at the court and have worked with for the last 12 years is an extremely professional, motivated group of people. And before we had the time clocks, they were still there. They would get there early. They were focused and concerned about the job that they had. They would sometimes work through noon. They would sometimes stay late. This was on their own time. And they would come in on weekends. And the reason was they took pride in their work. They wanted to do a good job. They wanted the public, the services to the public to be quality, to be excellent. And they, in turn, taught me a lot on my accountability, on my ability to be there. So it's sort of a symbiotic relationship, and it worked well for us because we all had the same work ethics and work standards. And this is something that was developed, and this is something that can be conveyed to our tribal employees. It's not going to be an overnight process, but it can be done because we've got good people who want to do good work, and they want to be recognized for it, and I will do that.
All right, thank you. All right, before we get to the closing,
Allowing you to come in, inviting me in, and you've been a very, very good audience, as usual, here in Ashland. The only thing I want to clarify and make sure that we all are on board, although Mr. Killsback and I are here on a debate on the issues, that's good, that's the way it's supposed to be. I want to be clear that I am not running for the office against Mr. Killsback. He has his agenda, I have my own platform, and I've been here tonight, and I've been on the campaign trail for a while. This is the very first time I've ever really campaigned for office. It's been a learning experience, I tell you. But I want to be clear that I am running for the office of president. And my goal is to bring unity into our tribe, to create a unified vision. Now this means not just the council and the tribal employees and whoever. This means a whole community, because this is a community effort. We're a small tribe. We have the similar interests. We have the same needs. We need to work together with this. We want to come up with a plan. We should be operating with a 30-year plan right now. I don't know if we have a 2-day plan. And I don't mean this in any disrespect to any elected official or administrator that may be here, because that's just been the process. We're used to running on adrenaline. We're used to stamping out some of Ed's fires for him. We have gotten away from the planning that we need. We should have a 30-year plan. If we had a 30-year plan 30 years ago, we would know how we're going to deal with Otter Creek. But we didn't. But it's not too late to start right now. We have to do that. We have to plan ahead for our children. I was told one time, any decision made by a tribal leader, and I'll tell you who told me this, Joe walks along. I was trying to push him on make a decision on something. And he said, he said, whenever I think on some of these and after I pray on it, I always think, is this going to help our people? Is this going to help our grandchildren? Is this going to help the grandchildren of our grandchildren? Is this going to protect our land and our water and our air? And ever since he told me that, I've thought about that, and I've tried to apply it to decisions that I make. And it's helped me. It's helped me a lot. The other thing that's helped me, gives me strength, is my belief in our culture and our traditions, and the strength of our people and the history. The sheer fortitude it took for our people to leave Fort Robinson, no relation, to come up here against all odds and to reclaim our land. This land wasn't a gift. This land was not a gift. This land was our land that we came back and reclaimed, and it was a difficult battle. And sometimes when I'm out in the morning looking at that morning star, I think of those old people and the suffering that they went through. We're still doing that. We're still suffering, not to the extent that they were, but we still have the issues. And I believe that together, as a unified tribe, and that's going to take some change, because it's not you guys and us guys, it's us, all of us. We're going to work together, and we're going to make the changes we need so that our people are going to be live in prosperity, going to live in good health, and that this land will be here for our grandchildren of our grandchildren in a good way. Thank you very much. I appreciate everything tonight.
Thank you guys for having this event in Ashland, a tough district. It's actually the first time in the primaries I did pretty good in the district. I'm on the other side of the res. And I have this saying, one must learn to follow before one can lead. And I think I've proven that 8 years being on council. I come from a young radical lawmaker to a mature, respectable statesman for the tribe. I want that chance. I want that opportunity to be your president. I want you to vote for a leader, not a politician. I always tell people I take the harder and more honorable path for the best results. It might not be the popular one, but I feel it's the right one, because I can go home and sleep at night. I can go home and feel happy about my decision. I can see people and greet them without having that guilt over me for a choice I made as a leader. But I take your voice to the next level. I take your stories, your testimony, your struggle to the people, decision makers who need to hear it. I've proven that by providing testimony in front of Congress, by sharing your stories on the committees I serve, and the leadership positions I hold nationally and regionally. A lot of my focus has been in health. And a lot of my other focus has been in trust reform. In 2006, I was the chairman of the Land Authority that filed the lawsuit that got us the $50 million settlement. Prior to the first per cap, I presented the resolution to ensure it wasn't taxable by the federal government. Provided that resolution, talked to the White House. Those are efforts I believe our president should be making. President, not doing anything. This Tongue River Road you have here, the railroad coming in, that's going to be an important corridor. He accepted state money, thinking let's get the fences fixed. Hey, that's our jurisdiction. We fix the fences. We don't need state money to do it. Let us do it. Let us maintain it. That's our sovereignty. The other thing I want to mention to you is the decisions I have made, the work I have done, the voice I have shared. It's for those not born yet. And that's how we need to think. The Lakota have 7 generations. I think we're similar. The decisions our ancestors made were in our best interest now. The other saying I have, a little funny, 8 years on council, I am a veteran on council. So I take the bullets in the front, but the arrows in the back, all for the people. And it's true, because I've been criticized. I've endured a lot of backlash. But I still stand strong. With the idea of what I'm standing for is worth it. Because I've heard your voices, I've heard your stories. And I do have a vision, and I hope it's a shared vision. That I see our people, our families getting stronger. I told you I see our people getting healthier. I see our children becoming educated. And I see our language and culture revitalizing. And there's specific projects that I propose to help with this vision. But it's all going to come from you. Remember, our leadership reflects our society. Thank you.